Hello children, welcome to our geography class. We have already started revising our first chapter, that is India, size and location. And in my previous video, I already showed you how we get the standard meridian and what is the time zone, what is the prime meridian. So children, first again I will continue little bit with that and then I will start the actual chapter. Now children, in the previous video I had told you about local time, which varies from one longitude to the other longitude. Now this local time children can be defined as the time that is fixed by watching the position of the overhead sun as 12 noon. Okay, so local time is the time that is fixed by watching the position of the overhead sun as 12 noon. Okay, I'm again repeating children, the time that is fixed by watching the position of the overhead sun as 12 noon. Now this local time will vary, will change from one longitude to the other as the earth is rotating. Different longitudes will come under the direct sun, overhead sun, and they will enjoy noon according to their position. And the definition of standard meridian is that the standard meridian is the central meridian of a time zone, and the time zone covers 15 longitudes. Okay children, the time zone covers 15 longitude and the standard meridian is the central meridian of a time zone. Throughout this 15 longitude, the same time is maintained. There will not be any change in time within this time zone. All the places within a time zone will maintain the time that is given by the standard meridian, and when it will be 12 noon on the standard meridian, it will be 12 noon for all the longitudes within that particular time zone. Children, another very important thing, there are many countries which are having a wide span, a wide area, like USA is there, Canada is there, Russia is there, China is there. So these countries children, they are having several time zones because they are technically very advanced. Now India is having a single time zone. As I proceed in the chapter children, I will continue to inform you, to give you the idea why India is having a single time zone. Now children, coming directly to India's size and location. Now children, India is a country which is noted for civilizations that had flourished here since the ancient days. People settled along the banks of the river. India is having different rivers, and the rivers provided them the basic supply, that is water. And almost the soil is fertile in many areas along the banks of the river, especially the areas where the river is flowing over the fertile plain tract. So all these river banks have given rise to different civilizations, and these civilizations have given us a rich culture, a rich heritage. Regarding the size children, India is a country which has a wide span. The easternmost longitude is the 97 degree 25 minutes east longitude, and the westernmost longitude is 68 degree 7 minutes east. Roughly we are covering at least 30 longitudes. Now these longitudes, they are touching Arunachal Pradesh in the easternmost point, and Gujarat in the westernmost point. So our 97 degree 25 minutes east touches Arunachal Pradesh, and 68 degree 7 minutes east touches our Gujarat. Now here children, another thing is very important, that is our eastern hemisphere. We lie totally in the eastern hemisphere. So we always use the alphabet E to denote this eastern hemisphere. So we will write E for our easternmost longitude, E for our westernmost longitude. In our country there is no mention of W because W stands for west. We are in the eastern hemisphere. We lie east of prime meridian. Similarly, we lie entirely in the northern hemisphere. So the northernmost latitude is 37 degree 6 minutes north. The northernmost latitude is 37 degrees 6 minutes north. Though children, in the world map it is disputed because there are some parts, you all know children, which is occupied by China in the eastern part, that is in the Ladakh portion of our country, and there are some parts which are occupied by Pakistan in the Kashmir portion of our country. So in the world map children, you will find that this latitude is disputed, but in India we consider the northernmost latitude of our country as 37 degrees 6 minutes north. Similarly, in case of southernmost latitude, here again children we have two latitude. One latitude that touches our southernmost point, that is the southernmost point of our Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is denoted by a small island, Indira Point. Now this small island got submerged underwater during the tsunami, and this point got totally submerged, but now again it is coming up. So the southernmost point is our southernmost location of total India. Okay children, I had said we have two latitude. One latitude touches the mainland India and one latitude touches the southernmost point of India. See children, I am using the word Indian mainland for the main part of India, and I am using the word India, which includes the island group. Now in case of our island group children, in case of our Andaman Nicobar Islands, the Nicobar group of islands extends south of the mainland latitude, that is the latitude that touches our Kanyakumari. Kanyakumari is the southernmost point of mainland India, and that latitude is 8 degree 4 minutes north. The latitude that touches our southernmost point, that is Kanyakumari, is 8 degree 4 minutes north, but the latitude that touches our Indira Point, that is the southernmost point of Andaman and Nicobar group of islands, is 6 degree 4 minutes north. There is a difference of 2 degrees here. And then we have another very important latitude, that is the Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer cuts right across our mainland, and this is 23 degree 30 minutes north, 23 and a half degree north. It divides the country into almost two equal halves. The southern part enjoys the conditions of tropical climate. The northern part enjoys the conditions of subtropical climate. So children, let me discuss this by using the map of India. Now children, starting with our easternmost point, let us discuss this using the map of India. So here you can find that 96 degree is written. but our easternmost longitude is 97 degree 25 minutes east. So with little bit of distance from here, children, we will start drawing the line. So we will take it in this way, we will come down, and then we will start slowly joining this line, and then we will merge with this merging, because here in the bottom, children, you can see it's written 92 degree. There is no mention of 96 degree also. That means we all know, children, that this longitude, they spread out when they reach to this part. So when they reach the equator, they start spreading out. It is widest far away from each other along the equator, over the equator. So this line will come in this way, children, and it will touch our Arunachal Pradesh and let it merge with the margin here. Similarly, children, this side we have 68 degrees 7 minutes. So little bit away from 68 degree. This is 68 degree, you can easily find. So from this little bit away, we will start drawing, and you will draw it freehand, children, without using any scale. No using of scale, children. So in this way we will draw, and we will take it in this way, and again we will merge with the margin, because the longitudes are spreading out. So 68 degrees 7 minutes east touches Gujarat. This one touches Arunachal Pradesh here. Here we have Arunachal Pradesh. Similarly, children, for our northernmost latitude, here our northernmost latitude is 37 degrees 6 minutes north. So what we will do, we will take, here it is written 36, so just little bit above 36 we will take, and we will just touch its border, and then we will take it in this way. Okay, 37 degree 6 minutes north. It will touch this border, okay, this portion of our Kashmir and Ladakh zone. So it's touching in this way. In reality, children, the world map, you will be surprised, children, does not consider this latitude as our northernmost latitude, because there is Pak occupied Kashmir and China occupied Kashmir. So they do not consider this. But we Indians, why we give up our land? So we consider this as our northernmost latitude. Then, children, the southernmost latitude of Indian mainland. So this is our Indian mainland, children, and this, when we consider this island groups, here we have Andaman Nicobar, and this side we have this Lakshadweep. Now this comes in India, but when you are asked to draw the southernmost latitude of Indian mainland, that means this is the mainland, and we will consider 8 degree 4 minutes north. Now here, children, you can easily find 8 degree is there mentioned here, and 8 degree is also mentioned here. So these lines are also a slightly curved line. So we will take this line from here, that is this latitude, and we will first draw it very lightly with a light pencil, and then from here you will consider this line in this way. We will join this side here. We will join it very lightly, children, and do not use scale. So this is our 8 degree 4 minutes north. Similarly, when we draw the southernmost latitude of India, it will come as 6 degree 4 minutes north. So here, children, 8 degrees there. So almost touching this point, we can draw it in this way, just little bit touching the lowermost point. Generally this is given, this one comes commonly in the exam, that is the southernmost latitude of Indian mainland. And we all know, children, this is our Tropic of Cancer. This Tropic of Cancer cuts our India almost into two equal halves. This is the subtropical India, and this is the tropical India. Now this entire Indian landmass, children, occupies a total area of 3.28 million square kilometers of area. So with this area, we are the 7th largest country in the world. but this land area, that is 3.28 million square kilometer, is just 2.4% of the total land area of the earth. Our total area is coming 3.28 million, which ranking being the 7th largest. But when we see the population of our country, we are the 2nd largest in the world, and God knows, maybe in the coming census our position may come to first, because we are also this counting is scheduled next year. Now India, with this total area, we are having the land boundary. You know the land boundary, the sides that is touching the land part. That is all these countries which are there beside us, which are touching our land frontier, is 15,200 kilometer. And we have our coastal line. Coastal line here, children, includes not only our coastal land, which also includes the island groups also. Here we are having this island groups. They are also having a coastal boundary. So covering this coastal boundary and the coastal boundary of Lakshadweep, as well as the coastal boundary of mainland India, the total distance is 7,516.6 kilometer. 7,516.6 kilometer. So we have a huge length of land boundary as well as huge coastal boundary. And we all know, children, although you have, this is a revision class, you have already studied, but still I will mention that the northern part of our country is occupied by this huge chain of fold mountain system, and this huge chain of fold mountain system is known by the name of Himalayas. This is Tropic of Cancer, I have already mentioned. Now just little bit below this Tropic of Cancer, around 22 degrees here, the land starts tapering. Tapering means the land becomes narrow here, okay, and it seems that it is entering into the Indian Ocean. We are having Indian Ocean here. So this, it seems that it is like this land portion, which is a peninsula. Peninsula is a land which is surrounded by sea on 3 sides. So it seems that this portion is in fact entering into the Indian Ocean, and we are dividing the Indian Ocean into 2 parts. This side is the Arabian Sea and this side is the Bay of Bengal. So south of this Tropic of Cancer, we are like entering, it seems it is tapering, and it seems that it is entering into the Indian Ocean, dividing this into 2 parts. The Arabian Sea is on the west and the Indian Ocean is on the east. And regarding the land frontier, children, we are surrounded by different countries. This side is occupied by Pakistan. Here there is a small part of Afghanistan touching us. Our China is there in the northern part. Previously this area was occupied by Tibet. Now this Tibetan portion has already been occupied by China, so we do not include Tibet now. So China is there, Nepal is there. This side here we have Bhutan, and then we have the Myanmar as our easternmost neighbor. Another one, Bangladesh, is there as our easternmost neighbor. And then we have the southern neighbors. We have Sri Lanka here, which is separated from India by a narrow channel of water known as the Pak Strait. And here also we have another small neighbor known as Maldives. So these 2 are our island neighbors. The rest of them are the ones which are attached to our boundary. So India is a huge country, the 7th largest country. It is also known as a subcontinent because all the features that can be found in a continent is there within us. But when we call it a subcontinent, we also include the countries which are attached to India. That means it will also include Pakistan, it will also include Nepal, it will also include Bhutan, it will also include Bangladesh, and the rest of the countries which are separated from India by the land boundary or the water. Land means our mountain boundary, like this China lies to north of the Himalayas, so China is not a part of our subcontinent. Myanmar is not a part of the subcontinent because it is separated by the Purvachal Himalayas here. Here there is water body, that is our Bay of Bengal here, so this is also separated. Maldives is also separated, so they will not be part of Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent include those continents where it is attached and the barrier is not there, just at the borderline. So as I mentioned, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh includes the Indian subcontinent. So children, I hope that you all have followed the introductory part of the chapter. Next day we will study about the standard meridian and the impact of the latitudinal extent and the impact of longitudinal extent on India. And we will move on after this. When I will be completing this first chapter, revision of first chapter, I will tell you about the international dateline, because I had promised you that I will tell you how the international dateline helps in fixing the time of the international watches. Thank you, children. Have a good day.